welcome to the Golden Ticket. Obviously, I'm in Hawaii, giving you the aloha for wherever you are. I see people all over the world already. Welcome. My name is Jennifer Alice Murray. Myself and my friend Julie Mai are going to share some information with you today about our business, which is in the field of network marketing, a field not a lot of people understand, but that is growing super rapidly. And so we just take a little time on Tuesdays to demystify the industry and give people a chance to sort of just see the faces of the people doing this and why. So a little bit about me is my background experience is I've been on Kauai for 17 years, in which time I've been a restaurant owner. I co-owned a health food restaurant here in the middle of the ocean, and transitioned from that incredibly stressful career move into being a private chef, and managed to write 3 cookbooks, which are still all happily sitting there on Amazon. And about 7.5 years ago, my girlfriend came to me with a product that she thought I should try because I had been having a lot of pain in my body for a few years. And even though I didn't believe for 1 second that that product would have any good effects for me, I decided to give it a whirl, and very glad that I did, because it led to me being able to tiptoe into a very interesting industry where I was able to retire myself as a chef and be a full-time network marketer. So, one thing that I can attest to is that even though I have come to see this business that we have as what we call a golden ticket, it was really hard to see that in the beginning for what it was. And for a lot of industries, they use advertising to get their word across to the masses, and advertising is essentially based around your attention, right? Getting your attention, holding your attention. And our industry is based around education. So we take a moment to tackle the education step. We have a product, which I'll talk about a little bit later, which is something you've never heard of before, something that takes a little bit of explanation. And so that is essentially the big difference between being a retail company and being us. We are doing word of mouth, person to person talks and discussions. So if you happen to be someone who is hopeful for a change in your life, whether it's in your health or in your household income, if you're someone who's just curious about these things, and then absolutely, definitely, if you're someone who's praying and wanting and needing for a change in your life, then I invite you to stay open-minded as we kind of dive into what this is, because even though it can be challenging to identify a golden ticket in this day and age, you most certainly have found one. Somebody invited you to this to check out this information, and they might not be the person you thought had the answers to your problems, but remain open-minded, because perhaps they did. I'm going to introduce you quickly to my friend Julie Mai, and then I will be back later to talk about exactly what these products are. But Julie is someone that I met at the beginning of this business journey of mine. And I went to a meeting after the pain left my body to kind of dive in and experience a little bit more about what it was. And I expected to find a salesperson there talking about products. And what I found was this beautiful woman talking about how inspired she felt to make a big change in her life. And that even from this small island and this very small community of 60,000 residents, that we could pull together and be stronger together and create something global and something that could put us in a state of actually being able to retire, possibly quite comfortably. And we could do all of that by helping other people feel good and get what they want out of life. So she's a very solution-oriented person. I was very surprised to find that that was the meeting that I was attending, but alas, I will turn it over to her. She is a jewelry designer, an artist, a mom, incredibly hardworking woman, and most importantly, I think, someone with amazing vision, a big dreamer. Thanks, Julie, for being with us.
Oh, thanks, Jennifer. Hey, everybody. So grateful that you are here today. If you're a guest hearing this information for the first time, I just want to applaud you for taking the time out of your day, listening to your friend. I know sometimes, like Jennifer says, our friends want us to hear something, look at something, and of course, you know, the red flags go up. And I just want to applaud you for being here, because I think it's so important this day and age to really have a mindset that you can look outside the box a little bit, that you can think differently than the status quo, because we've never been through what we're going through right now. This is like, we are making history. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not really in the best place, you know, wondering what their future is going to hold, what life is going to look like in the future for them. So good on you for being here. Like Jennifer said, I'm just a girl from a little island out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Something came my way about 7.5 years ago that completely changed the direction of my life. And now it just fuels my soul. It makes me so happy to be able to just transfer the knowledge and the wisdom that I've learned and why my life has changed so much. 7 years ago, I found myself as an overworked, overstressed, you know, successful by a lot of means, but just not successful in the life that I wanted to live. I was juggling a full-time jewelry design company. My husband was a full-time mason. We had 2 little girls at the time. We were really more like ships passing in the night, my husband and I just found myself in a really sticky predicament where I just knew that I was grateful for the success. I was grateful for my work ethic. My mom instilled an incredible entrepreneur spirit inside of me that I loved doing my own thing. I loved creating, but unfortunately, as my business grew and the more success that came my way, the more just disheartening that the more sadness I felt, because it was pushing my kids farther and farther away from me. And for any moms on the phone, that we all know, like we have our kids so that we can raise them. And I found myself, unfortunately, not in that situation. I found that someone else was raising my babies for me because I was working all the time. And I knew that if I kept going down that path, that it was just going to get bigger and bigger. The workload was going to get more, and I was going to keep pushing my kids to people to take care of and take them to the beach and take them to school because I was so busy. And I know that comes at a cost, because my mom, that was my story. My mom worked extremely hard while I grew up so that she could provide the best life that she could, unknowing to her that there was any other way, unknowing to me 7 years ago that there was any other way. But, you know, as things happen, and sometimes when you put it out into the universe that you're looking for something different, that you're hoping for something different, things show up. And a friend invited me to hear about some information about a product that was changing her family's life. I was intrigued by the product. I thought, that sounds pretty, you know, interesting. I would love to maybe just see what it can do for my life. I wasn't looking for another business because I had no time. But even though I said that, I knew that I wanted something different. So when the products did start changing my life, when I shared them with my mom and they started changing her life, I really sat back for a minute and thought, I wonder what this business is all about. And I started to dig and I started to research. And that is something, you know, I tell people when they hear different ideas, I say, you know, don't listen to what your friends or your family may say, like do your own research. And what I started to realize about this industry of network marketing that I didn't really know much about is I realized that I found that some of the most successful people on the planet, people like Sir Richard Branson, people like Warren Buffett, people are, you know, Peter Drucker, people that are super duper successful in business, either own, teach, or support network marketing. So that right there was enough for me to take it seriously. And what I realized is that network marketing, you know, a lot of people have these bad assumptions, or they hear something from a friend or a family member that, oh, that doesn't work. And what I realized is not that it doesn't work, that people quit because they don't take it seriously, that it's actually a real profession, that it's a real industry. And network marketing, you guys, is just real world business education. It teaches the average person who maybe has had no past experience in business and training how to run a successful organization, how to become a leader in their, in business and in life. And I honestly believe, from what I've found in the last 7 years, that you can learn more about business and being an entrepreneur in network marketing than you can in any business school or in any book that you read, because you're learning as you're doing the actual work. You're learning as you're growing your business. So I absolutely love that idea. And what I found, you guys, a lot of people think, oh, I'm not a salesperson. I don't know how to sell things, because that was me. I'm a jewelry designer. I love to create. I'm an artist. But when it comes to selling, that wasn't my forte. But what I learned is network marketing is not so much about selling as it is about building networks of people who are individuals who are like-minded, who have fallen in love with a unique product that's either changed their life or that they strongly believe in, and that they want the same thing as you: more time, more flexibility, more freedom to live on your own terms versus punching in and punching out for somebody else. And the real difference between network marketing and traditional business, or being an employee, maybe you're an employee, is that you're able to leverage your efforts with the efforts of other people. So you multiply your time versus adding your time. So trading your time for dollars. Let's say you go to work for 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. So instead of doing that, you can actually do your work one time. People fall in love with the product. They order it over and over and over again. So you multiply, you get paid multiple times for doing your work one time. I absolutely fell in love with the idea of this, because with the jewelry, I knew I had to make so much jewelry every day to sell to the stores, to sell to my, to send off on the website to get paid. I never understood the idea of doing something one time and getting paid over and over, like a residual income. And I absolutely fell in love with that idea. You're able to create this leveraged wheel, or this engine that continues to run with or without you, which will give you your time freedom back, time to do the things that you want to do with the people that you love, because you've created a situation, you guys, where everyone has the same amount to gain. And that is really, really, I think, something that I really love to teach, because I think people don't understand. They think, oh, you got to get in the beginning, or you got to, the timing is off. But honestly, it all depends on your work ethic and the efforts that you put in. It doesn't matter where you fall in the organization. It just depends on what the efforts are that you put in. So when done right, it truly is one of the most incredible business models, because you're able to create an asset that will last lifetimes. There's no glass ceiling, there's no cap, there's no boss, there's no one telling you what you can and can't do. All you have are people that want to help you succeed. It truly is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful business models for that reason. You can grow your business as big as you want. You can keep it where you want it, because it all depends on your goals, your work ethic, what you're willing to put in. And like I said, the most beautiful thing about it is you cannot become successful in this industry unless you help other people become successful. So for me, that was just so mind-opening, because with my jewelry business, I would find people to help me, but I wasn't willing to tell them all my little secrets, because I knew that if they were to stop working for me, they were going to turn around and go start making jewelry with all of my secrets. Or maybe if you're in the corporate America dog eat dog, your boss doesn't necessarily want you to be better than them, because they're going to be afraid that you're going to take their job. In this industry, it's completely opposite. We want everyone to be better than everyone, because the raising tide raises all ships. So I'm going to have Rusty Cottrell, my dear friend and business ally. Rusty Cottrell is going to play a little video for you guys, and Tony Robbins is going to explain in the powerful business way that he's one of the most incredible business influencers on the planet, why network marketing is the business of the 21st century. So Rusty, go ahead and press play on that.
You've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of different things. What are your thoughts about network marketing in general? And what is your thoughts about the decision that people can make to become entrepreneurs using it?
Well, it's interesting. I'm doing this program right now, and I got a room, of a couple thousand people from 44 countries. They're all business owners. Some of them are businesses that are approaching $1 billion. Some of them haven't even started yet, right? They're just picking their business. So it's really variety. And one of my goals in that event is to actually get people to not go in business. And the reason it sounds horrible is someone spends $10,000 come to an event. I told them up front, Some of you are not made for this because to run a business requires a certain natural capacity, a nature, if you would, besides skills that you learn. And it's the ability to handle risk. It's the ability to handle stress. It's the ability to do a lot of different things. And you have to be able to manage finance. Most people, they have some of those skills. And that's why every year, 50% of businesses that start are out of business. You look at over any, 5-year period of time, 80% are out of business. And over a 10-year period of time, only 4% make it. Now, make it doesn't mean that they're making any money. Right? That just means they're still standing. 96% fail, and after 10 years, you're set, right? No. Look at Lehman Brothers, right? Around for a century. They did combined $1 trillion in revenue over that century, and they're gone. So the world, technology changes, products and services changes. It's so competitive. So to really be successful, it's a really unique situation. What's beautiful about network marketing is you get all the benefits of being an owner, but you don't have to be worried about supply chain. You have to be worried about accounting, especially in the world we're in today. Network marketing used to be a little bit more different, but today with technology, you can know what's happening in real time. The companies have already set up the software, they know what happens. So it's really picking the right company, and there's a lot of great companies in that area. And it's really realizing that you're really a value creator. If you can go out and add value to other people's lives, if you can just introduce people to a product or a service that a company represents that truly is extraordinary, some products and services can't just be thrown up on Amazon. They need the story to be told. And if you found a product or service of that nature and you got a company that has a generous schedule of being able to reward you, and then you begin to get leverage where it's not just you, where you multiply your efforts to other people, then you get all the benefits of being a business owner without all the headaches and without the same level of risk. And so I think network marketing is amazing. Now, network marketing has a mixed reputation, and we all know that, right? In the marketplace, and everybody goes out, well, what are you doing? That's why you got to own yourself as a professional. I think that's why I'm supportive of what you do, because you're not just pumping people up, you're giving people real skill sets to be a pro.
There we go. What I loved about what he said on that, or what actually just blew my mind the first time I saw that, is what he said about the ratio of businesses being successful. So for me, when I started my own business, you guys, I did it because obviously you want to be successful. I put in everything I had, blood, sweat, and tears to become successful. And I was realizing that, yes, I had to pour in so much energy and so much money every month. And then to think, how many years am I going to be doing this? And then probably most likely not even make it. 4% after 10 years make it? That is just crazy. So the thing about this industry, first of all, that he was sharing, you guys, this is no small industry. This is quickly becoming one of the biggest industries, largest industries in the world, because the world is changing so rapidly. Like Tony said, with technology and AI, we're seeing more changes. We're going to see more changes in the next 10 years than we have in the last 70. And that is just the honest truth because of what's happening. That's even before COVID, happened. And now we're seeing all of this. Here we are all on Zoom technology. We're so blessed that we get to do this and that we actually get to be able to still work. But there is a disruption in the marketplace. Technology that said is going to replace 50% of the jobs as we know it today in the next 5 to 10 years. 50% jobs, brick and mortar businesses are disappearing faster than we can keep track of. And that is just because the times are changing, the world is changing. So as far as network marketing goes, you guys, there's over 150 million people right now in this industry worldwide, spread across 100 countries. Last year alone, it did over $200 billion. This year, it's estimated to bring in about $250 billion. And by 2025, $650 billion is what our industry is going to be worth. So when I do the numbers and I think about it, and when I realize in the next 3 to 5 years that 80 million people are going to be looking for home-based businesses, it's kind of like I have a moral obligation to share this industry with people, because I firmly believe that, network marketing isn't perfect. There's no perfect business model out there, you guys, but it's better. And the reason why it's better is because it's solely based around helping other people succeed. It's a low risk to get involved. You don't need a ton of money to get involved, which unfortunately is kind of a double-edged sword because people don't take it seriously, but you don't need a lot of money to get started. The flexibility that you can work on your time, you can be a busy mom or a college student or a full-time employee and fit it into the nooks and crannies and build this thing. The residual income asset that I talked about earlier, there's nothing like it on the planet where you can build a residual income that will continue to go with or without you. And that is my story. As I built this, solid for a few years, and I was able to be home with my babies when they needed me most. And that leverage wheel continued to grow. That engine kept going with or without me. The community and the purpose that you have once you step into something like this is that you are honestly helping other people. And so you tend to find a purpose in that. You tend to find fulfillment in that. You tend to find joy in that. I know that so many of us, that's a huge part of what we do, is just loving the significance that we feel from doing this, and to have a proven system that you can plug in to become successful. I can go on and on and on about different reasons why. One of the things is the personal development, you guys. I just want to say this: the day that turns your life around is the day that you realize you don't want what you have anymore. And maybe you're in that place right now. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, I'm frustrated. Or maybe you've had time off from work because of what's happening in the world, and you're like, I don't want to go back to that job. I understand. It's all about really living your passion and what you want to do in this life, and to have an opportunity to have a golden ticket, to have a platform that can get you to the place that you truly, truly want to go is incredible. And I know that this isn't for everyone. I know that most people are comfortable just being uncomfortable. I know a lot of people like to go and clock in and work for somebody else, and that's totally okay. But this industry is for the dreamers. It's for the achievers. It's for the people that think outside the box, that think outside the status quo, and that ultimately just want more out of life. I firmly believe that this is what this industry can give you. So I'm going to pass it back to you, Jan, let you talk a little bit about the products. If you want to throw it back to me before we end, and we'll wrap it up.
All right, Julie. Thank you. I was actually on a Zoom earlier today where a woman asked a very intriguing question. She said, raise your hand if you're looking forward to being 85 years old. Any hands? So it really doesn't matter if you're 65 or you're 25. You're not going to get very many hands raised. Even those two little cuties on the couch back there are not looking forward to being 85 years old. And there's a reason for that, right? Scientists also know this. Doctors also know this, right? We're all staring that issue down. And our company was started by scientists that this was the focus of their work. How do we make the experience of being inside of a human body stay healthy, pleasurable, something that you're looking forward to? And for us, our lead scientist, he started in the 1960s trying to figure out how can I help people increase their health span, right? So that our lifespan and our health span are the same. And it's not a pipe dream anymore. They've put a lot of decades into researching human genetics, researching our cellular activity. And they did that so we don't have to. All we have to do, luckily, is swallow some really healthy little pills that I think of as unlikely salads pressed into a pill for our convenience. So with our company, we are in a category called nutrigenomics. Simply breaks down to mean that we're using nutrients, we're using all plant-based nutrients to affect our genetic expression and increase our health span. Back in the day, in the beginning of, I think it was the early 2000s, our products were on the shelf in health food stores. And it didn't work out very well commercially because, for one thing, scientists aren't very good at marketing. And for another thing, there was nobody else on the shelf in our category. There was nobody there that understood what the category even was. Hence this model, hence using network marketing or taking this education step to let people know what it is that we have. We don't work well as a retail company. We need people to tell their stories person to person, invite people to Zooms like this where they can get an education. We are in the business of genetic tuning. Just like pianos, if left to age, they just naturally fall out of tune, right? You have to get in there. There's lots of strings and things to to fine tune, and human beings are incredibly complex, and our genetic codes are very complex, with something that they've been studying for decades and are finally making some strides in understanding. And the world of epigenetics, which is simply just the environment that your cells are living in, the environment that your DNA and your genetic code are living in and absorbing because of not only what you eat, but also the environment that you're living in, the toxins and the pollution, which none of us can get away from, no matter how healthy and clean we eat, are affecting our genetic expression every second of every day. And what we have with our flagship products are three main products that reduce your detoxification. You know, they're detoxifying your cells. They are restoring your mitochondrial health, which is giving you your energy back, helping you to actually rest at night and have energy during the day. Possibly you can dream of waking up feeling fresh and refreshed and ready for your day. And they are doing much more complex things at a very micro level, where they're able to read your genetic, basically get in there and fine tune your genetic expression so that your survival genes, which are lying inside of you waiting to save your life at every turn, are actually able to get expressed. And some of these genes that we do not want to be experiencing at 65, 75, and 85 are being silenced and shuffled to the back of the queue. You know, we have a really ingenious design built into us. And these products are the result of decades of research into how do we feed this design what it needs to restore it back to its original function, and essentially keep us incredibly young on the inside, so that 85 is nothing to fear and 95 is nothing to fear. And that is the age that we're living in. We actually do know now that we have control over that. I was 38 years old when these products came along. I'm turning 46 tomorrow, and I feel younger than I did when I started them. When I started these products, I was getting out of bed like an 85-year-old, and now I'm living the dream, basically. So, and you know, is it worth $5 a day to you at pretty much the maximum? You know, if you spent the last 10 or 15 years of your life in a wheelchair, would you look back and think that $5 a day was a worthy investment? I'm going to go ahead and say that most of us would like to get out there and find an extra $5 a day to make this, to increase our health span and get our survival genes working for us. So thank you for listening. I'm going to pass it back to Julie, who's going to tie it up for us for the day.
Oh, well, first of all, happy birthday. Not looking a day over 36. Whoop, whoop. Love that. And yeah, that's why when you said, are you looking forward to hitting 85? I was kind of like, I'm not sure, because I know I'm activated. I know that we are taking really good care of ourselves. But you guys, I just want to say this. I am such an advocate for this industry. I do calls for other companies and other teams, not even within my team, because in my company, because I firmly believe in this industry too, more than anything else. And that's why I want to say, not only, we're not here to sell you anything. Do we have something that is absolutely incredible and different that you can't get anywhere else? Yes, we do. But I'm a firm believer in finding what you love, finding what your passion is, and really, asking yourself what you want out of life. Because I'm telling you that, like I said earlier, this business isn't perfect. It's just better. So I want you to take a minute, and I want you to envision your life 5-10 years down the road. I just want you to just close your eyes, and I want you to think about what that looks like. What does your health look like? What does your family's health look like? What does your bank account look like? Are you happy? Are you secure? Are you fulfilled? And if that vision that you have is amazing, and you have this plan to get you there, and maybe you're already there, and if you are, congratulations. But a lot of people are still looking for a better future, a better life. They're trying to provide. If your vision isn't the way that you want it to be, that you are seeing something and you're not sure how you're going to get it, then I really recommend that you take a hard, honest look at what we're telling you. I invite you to really dig deep. I'm the person that invited you to this call is going to get back with you, and I want you to be honest with them. I want you to say, you know, I don't understand it all, but something that those girls said did hit a chord with me, because this is what I do know. I do know that life happens. And one of my favorite quotes by one of my favorite mentors, and a lot of you who've been on here many times with me know that I say this all the time, but it's so true. The same wind, you guys, blows on us all. The same wind of change, the economic wind, the wind of grief, the wind of hardships, the wind of happiness, the same wind, right now, the wind of COVID, the same wind blows on us all. It's not the blowing of the wind that determines your destination. It truly isn't, because it blows on us all. It's that what determines your destination is the set of your sail. And if you don't have a plan right now for a good set of your sail, I promise you that this industry gives you the opportunity to set a better sail. It did it for me. It's done it for hundreds of thousands of people, but we have literally one of the most beautiful teams that just, we thrive and we get excited and we're passionate about helping people succeed and be healthier than they've ever been. So like I said, the person who invited you will get back to you. Please let them know how you feel, what you think. Be honest with them. If this isn't for you, that's totally okay. Just let them know where you're at. And either way, thank you for being here. It's been Jennifer and my pleasure. Thank you, Rusty, for the help. We love you guys. Have a fantastic Tuesday evening. Bye, everybody.